Hey travelers, welcome back to Ghostlight. Listen, this whole channel's focus is on this iteration of me, who's been present in this simulation since 2016, just trying to keep up with all you high-speed rift walkers. That said, I posted a video a while back about the method of min-maxing X-Class update modules for your Starship in an attempt to max out any stat you'd like, my focus being damage. I never set out to create a ship with the highest DPS in the game, but some of your responses got me asking myself, what am I doing wrong? In that video, I upgraded an Inferknife accelerator to 93k DPS. Some people said they got up to 200k, others said they couldn't get past 30. So today, in this video, we're going to take a look at what we can do to maximize our DPS, finally solve this high discrepancy between Sentinel ships, and answer once and for all, do the base, core, and damage potential stats really mean anything? So let's get into it. Now we're going to look at this fleet of Sentinel ships that I've collected throughout these videos. I don't really know what a core damage potential means right now, but let's take a look at what it is for each of these ships. So to start, we have the Hound here. This has a core of 301.3. We have the Delta Remnant. It has a core of 214.5. This one's just called Blessed. This has a 285.8 core damage potential. I'm sure you recognize the Dart here with 268.2. We have the XE Remnant. That's 314.8. We have the Ghost Phoenix at 319.7. So you can increase this stat above the core value by installing new weapon systems, but that stat doesn't actually affect the DPS of any one weapon system. So it calls into question, is there some sort of synergy? So we're going to scour the galaxy, Reddit, and if I'm being honest, Hero2U's YouTube page to find a better ship, hopefully a naturally occurring S-Class. So let's take a look. I found this ship here, naturally occurring S-Class, core of 322. This configuration, once installed, it gives me about 110.7, not good enough. Found this ship I had to upgrade to an S-Class. It had a Z pattern, and once everything's installed, we got 109.5. Lastly, I found this beauty. This was a perfect 4 squared grouped boosted slot S-Class, naturally occurring. Once everything is said and done, this beauty got up to 125.9 DPS. And don't get me wrong, that's great, but that's not 200k. So what was I missing? And I got to thinking about the waypoint update and some new features that were implemented. So let's take a look. This has 125.9 DPS. I'm on the standard combat setting for enemy strength. If I switch this to weak, save my changes, I get a whopping 314.6 DPS. So the difficulty setting doesn't make the enemies weaker, it just makes you stronger. This is 2.5 times stronger. But some people were reporting not being able to get above 30k. So let's take a look at that. If we go to the same setting under difficulty, and we go over here to enemy strength, make it challenging. And now if we go back to our ship, we see that 125k DPS quickly becomes 83k DPS, which isn't bad as a starting point on normal, but this is a maxed out ship if you're operating on challenging mode. Now, that doesn't really answer the question though. What is core damage potential, and does it affect any change to a weapon system DPS? So we're going to do a little experiment. We're going to take our heaviest hitters, take a look at their core damage potential, see what they're maxed out with when they have all of the weapon systems installed, and then take the heaviest hitter out for a test run. It's time for an experiment, travelers. So to start, we'll look at our heaviest hitter, the Crimson. This has 125k DPS. We know that its core is 323, but its stat bonus, here in the analysis visor it says 524, but if you look on the ship, it says 543, and that makes up for about a 75% increase in stat. You see that I'm still on standard. Now, looking at the Phoenix, it's got a pretty low DPS of 93, but it has a pretty high damage potential with all the installed technology at 551. Lastly, we'll look at my main ship, the XE Remnant. We see that it has 314.8 core and between 515 and 519, depending on which stat you believe. And we see that it has 119.6 DPS. So I think the Crimson is the one we're going to test. So let's hop in it and take off. Before we get started, though, we're going to remove all of this technology. You see that I'm at 372.8 for damage potential. That's going to be where we start. I wanted to make sure that our DPS was still 125, which it is. And we're going to attack this Sentinel Pillar just to upset some folks. So we can see that as I'm hitting them, each strike without shields is 960. Each strike on shields is 640. And that's pretty consistent. Now, these values do stack, so on occasion you'll see 1280 with shields. Now we're going to attack this Sentinel ship, and you just see 960, 960 over and over. There's no shield value that we're seeing, except for mine going down. That'd be embarrassing if I died. So it's just melting through this ship, but pretty consistent numbers at 960. And there you have it. So our max is 960, our min is 640. So let's install that technology, get us back up to the 543.8. Once again, attack this Sentinel Pillar just to make them angry, get them in the sky, and then we start to see the same values. 960, 640 on shields, 960 on enemies, more 960. You can really see it in the Sentinel ship. There she is. Really just 960 all day long. You do see some higher multiples of 960. Those are just compounding strikes. And there go my shields. At least I'm consistent. We also see multiples of 640 when hitting shielded enemies. Those are just compounding strikes. All in all, dear travelers, it does seem that no matter how high your damage potential is, it doesn't really seem to affect your weapon system DPS in any way, shape, or form. Now, I did read that this may be a reflection of your photon cannon. I did similar tests with similar results. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. And as always, dear travelers, I'll see you tonight.